Good day, everybody. How are you? I am good myself. I am happy and excited that I got an opportunity to come back to you. I am Kinzi. I am a mother of two girls, and I am a believer of the Creator, and I'm happy that I'm blessed. Let's talk about the low self-esteem on the teenagers. Our children go through stages of development, and this particular stage of being a teenager, it's one that we find that our children, that's where they experience a lot of pressure from their peers that they cannot handle. The low self-esteem can be caused by many things. It can be the peer pressure, it can be what they experience at school from their fellow learners, from their even teachers, from the family members, from us as parents, probably not good or enough support. And that whatever it is will create some low self-esteem on other teenagers. So when a teenager is experiencing that, now they are prone to be teased, joked about, bullied by anything. It can be on their what develops on them, biologically, whether they have pimples, whether they have body weight loss or gain, anything that they can be teased about. And when they generally have a low self-esteem, that has a very serious negative impact on them, and that also creates that it becomes so more steep on them that others will try to fit in the environment that they are in at school. They may find themselves in drugs, in immoral activities, to fit in, just to fit in, so that you are not teased about. Others, they may become rebellious at home, trying to create a mechanism that protects them from any possible attack according to how they would feel at that moment, defensive mode, that whoever is talking or acting towards them, they feel that, this person may say things that I am not happy about, so I should be ready, to defend myself. So at that moment, they will be home and we will be home with them, but still far away, to reach out. So that's a very critical stage that us as parents, we should, find a way to get closer to them. And it can be many things. Sometimes they become more shy. Sometimes they get angry for no reason. They get triggered by small things and they become angry. Sometimes they become more reserved. Even those that are reserved naturally becomes worse. They close themselves in a very tight emotional space, and no one can break that barrier easily. So that's a very critical stage where the low self-esteem has to be attended to. And what I can tell you is it can be anything that causes a teenager to have the low esteem. You lack confidence of yourself because of the image, because of your family background, because of it can be anything, and you just don't value yourself as a teenager. You don't see your self-worth. you just don't have any confidence, you don't believe in anything about you. You just feel that you are actually, you matter not. And I would make an example of my personal story as a teenager. I'll try to be very, 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 very brief on it. I grew up in the villages in Tabanchu. I was a younger girl staying with my two elder brothers when my father was working, good contracting, or a garden boy somewhere in Virginia. You can't just understand how does that happen. And then my mother at some point, because my father will come probably after 2-3 months, my mother had to find a way so that we have food on the table. She had to go and find a job in the kitchens. Now I had to stay home with my brothers. Boys will also always be in the streets, and then I'll be going to school with, most of the time, in fact I think all the time, without a lunch pack. And at school, trying to be very brief, at school during breaks time, there will be a play, or we call it mantwane. We play mantwane with other kids, and at that moment, because other kids will be having some lunch packs, it can be anything, even porridge and morogo, anything that is there, or 5 cents to buy a quarter bread, that would be good enough. And I would be having nothing, and always. So during break, I will feel so ashamed, and that contributed to my low self-esteem. And I'll always mention this one. There will be this some sister who's a little bit older than me, not with many years, probably it can be 4 or 5 years, I can't remember, or maybe 3 years, I can't remember. And she noticed that, God is great. She noticed that during breaks, no one will pick me to be her child because I don't have a lunch pack. And she will always pick me to say, Wena Kinti, you are going to be my child. And she will always have enough lunch pack so that we can share, me and her, with other children. She can have many children, but I'll be part of those children. And that I never forget about it, because I would feel so ashamed that I have nothing. My shoes are not polished. I stay with boys, they don't care. Sometimes the polish is not even there, and that, how I grew up without anything. I lost confidence in myself. I grew up like that. Remember that stage, I was around 8, 9, 10 years old. I was just like that until I was a teenager and get into adulthood at the age of 18, 20, 21. And yeah, at that stage there is a story again for that stage, but that would be for another day. But what I'm trying to bring to the picture here is, low self-esteem can be brought up by many things. Yeah. So what is important is, what do we do to our teenagers to make sure that we actually break this barrier that they have created for themselves, that they are worthless, they don't value at all, and they don't have confidence. What do we do? That is what is important. Point number one, I think, is to find a way to create or to make them have an attitude of gratitude. Let them make a simple exercise. Let them list all the things that they are grateful about themselves, and let them list all those things every day. Today, what are you grateful about? I'm alive, and they should list all what they are not grateful about. And definitely what they are grateful about most of the time will be more than what they are ungrateful about themselves. So that is the attitude of gratitude. You teach them to do that continuously, and celebrate. Another thing will be celebrate the accomplishment. Can be as little as small things. I can't make example because we are from various backgrounds and how we live, so accomplishment will definitely differ. So every accomplishment, let's celebrate it, but let's try by all means not to put a tag. Always put a tag like a price, like money, because they will feel that for them to do better, it has a tag. But there is nothing wrong at some point to put a tag on it. There is nothing wrong, but don't make it a prerequisite. But celebrate it in any way, even just by hugging and saying good things. And other thing is positive affirmation. When you affirm that you are beautiful, you are hardworking, you are blessed, you are good in this. And also they should remember that if they are not good on something, doesn't mean they are not good. One person can be good on this other thing, and the other person will be good on another thing. So positive affirmation is important for them to realize that they are actually a better people. It's a list of them. We can, and there are a lot of exercises, there are a lot of techniques that you can use with your teenager to build up, or to make sure that they work on their low self-esteem, they become better people. We can talk about that probably on the site on another day, if you have an interest, so that I can send you more techniques. I'm willing to do that. What is important is communication, because if you don't have a good communication platform as people, whether as people in general, now I'm talking about the teenagers, then it won't be easy for you to reach out and identify the challenges that this child or this teenager is sitting with, and how best you can engage and bring this person closer. Because remember, she or he will be in this closed emotional space that they have created for themselves. So, and when if they create that space, it's not going to be easy to break it through. So make sure that it doesn't become this big barrier that you struggle to break through and get to them. So communication is important. Communication is very important. That is also a video on its own, on the model of communication. But what is important is to make sure that you have an open communication with your teenage child, with your teenage girl, with your teenage boy, on every little things that happens every day. Also share your experiences as a parent, as you grow up, good and bad, so that they realize that whatever that might be happening, that they are not telling you about, It's actually something that is not new. That's something that might have happened and can still happen, and that will at least ease their feelings on how hard they have been to themselves. Yeah, that's that. But like I said, if we need to talk about communication model, it would be a video on its own, and it will happen. We will have a conversation on it at some stage, and yeah. So for now, let's share this with our other parents. Let's share this with our teenage girls and boys, and let's go to all the platforms that you find this video. I'm on Facebook. Facebook page is Limitless Life Coach, and then I'm on Twitter, Kentse. I'm on YouTube, is Kentse. So let's share and like the video, and yeah, and have a continuous conversation until we have a better nation that we will create with our children. Thank you, and enjoy it. Keep well. Bye. Have a blessed time.